Hello again, folks. Just wanted to do a quick update on this beehive. There is several comments about what we might be able to do and whatever, and it was good advice for the most part, but by the time I found these, it was too late. These bees had it. They were gone. The robber bees, they came in, if I can see right there, them doggone yellow jackets. Those guys are bad too. But there were so few bees in here that it was hopeless. They were overwhelmed by the robber bees, and it was done. They'd come in, they killed the queen, they killed all the bees that were in here, and they're done. But see how this here, these capped honeycomb here, it's kind of a tan color. The honey is more of a white yellow color when they cap that. All this is baby bees. It's the brood, they call it. I don't know if you can see it or not. Right inside of there, I don't know how close this will get. There is some larvae. So she was laying, and they were hatching out some new bees, but the pattern's kind of sporadic. There's a lot of open holes here and things. That's kind of a sign that she's not doing as good a job as they could have. I think she was doing well enough. See, this one's even more open spaces. This is honey. This is all capped honey. It's more white compared to this tan with the brood. But mostly, all this honeycomb is empty. They ran out of food. They ran out of new bees. This has, I don't know if you can see it or not, there's a little bit of shininess to it. There is some honey in here. And this pollen, this yellow-orange stuff, that's pollen. So they were working on it. They were bringing some in, but they got overwhelmed. There was just too many other bees in there to do it. This gray stuff, that's larvae that is now rotting. They're dead. But see, there just isn't. The center of your hive is where all the activity is. This should be full. The dark stuff, that's pollen. All this other is empty comb. This should all be full of honey, and it's not. Oh, yeah, this hive starved out. And then, like I said, the lack of flowers this year, they couldn't keep up, and the other bees are having troubles finding pollen too. They can smell the honey in this hive, and they knew there wasn't enough in here to do much about it, so they came in and they robbed it all and killed the queen, killed the honeybees that were in here. So this hive is done. The good news is that all this, if I can get this open. Okay, here's one. This is all plastic. This is the foundation, they call it. And it's got the start of honeycomb on there to encourage the bees to build honeycomb. This is honeycomb. Once this is built, they'll reuse this. They'll refill it. This is all capped honey. And, they store that in the winter time. They'll put this cap on there to seal it off. In the wintertime, they'll eat this. This should be all full. This whole thing looked like this when we closed them up for the winter. But this is all that was left. They'll refill this, though, and they don't have to... See, on this side, there's nothing here. They have to build all that honeycomb up before they can start putting honey into it. When you have it already done, all they have to do is fill it up. They don't have to waste their energy to build comb. And having already formed honeycomb is a great thing for bees and beekeeping. because it's just less work for the bees. And having this hive die out, at least I have a lot of drawn out honeycomb that's already made. I can use this into the other hives, and we'll get another hive going in this one too. I gotta split it, but a little earwig. But kind of sad. I mean, this was our original beehive, and now it's a goner. But these other guys, they're doing good. This hive here, this is the hive that's mean. I don't much care for this hive. I'd like to replace the queen in this one. I don't see any bees coming in right now with pollen. Yesterday there was a bunch with both yellow and orange pollen. I don't know where they're getting it from. There's not many flowers out yet, but dandelions are blooming, and that's a good source for honey, or pollen at least. This hive over here, they're doing really well too. Well, not like we're out of the bee business just yet, but you really hate to lose a hive. This one, let me get this open here. Yeah. Alright, this jar has sugar water in it, and as you can see, the bees like that. There's a hole in this false lid here where they're eating that, and I put a pollen patty underneath the bottom here, so they've got a lot to eat, and they had honey as well, so they're doing pretty well. This other hive, I'd open it up, but like I say, they're mean. I'll get stung for sure if I open that up without smoke in my head net. Now, it's amazing the difference in bees. The hive we lost and this other hive with the jar in it, they're really friendly. I don't need my head net, I don't need smoke, I don't need anything to work them. We don't wear gloves or anything. No problem at all. Very rarely do I get stung. In the middle of summer or late in the fall, I need those things. But in the spring, they're usually pretty docile. This other hive, I don't know what their problem is. You crack the lid on them, they're gonna get you. They're not friendly. That hive, the queen has the kind of the mean gene in it, and it'll produce mean bees, or aggressive bees at least. I would really like to replace that one, but I had hoped to take the one that was failing here and put into that hive, but yeah, it's too late now. She's gone. The robbers had killed her. So anyway, there's a lot to learn about beekeeping. This is only our 3rd year about it, and we're not really that great at it just yet. There's still, I mean, tons of things we don't know, and just the way it is, I don't know if anybody really knows 100% about bees. The guy that has been helping us, the guy that got us started in this, he has over 1,000 hives and makes his entire living keeping bees. He told us that he had a 20% loss this winter of beehives that died out. And, 20% of 1,000, that's 200 hives. That's gonna put a dent in his paycheck for sure. But he furnishes the grocery store and a lot of places with honey, and makes a good living at it. That was never our goal with this. We just want enough honey for ourselves and maybe to give to some friends. So, anyway, thanks again for watching, and I'll have to do a bee video every now and then. They're kind of hard to do because you got your hands full and can't really see what's going on. So, beautiful day today. And like I say, there are some dandelions and things coming up, so the bees are doing better now, but it was too late for this one, just the way the winter was. Thanks again, and adios. See you next time.